Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Money Factor here on the Sphere TV. My name is LaShonda Johnson, your certified financial educator, and also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. And
good morning, I'm Tony Sanders, also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance and your certified financial education instructor. Welcome back. It is Monday.
Monday.
Yes. Did I hear a little ching? All right, we're getting so creative here. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's important to be able to be talking about money when you start off your week.
Absolutely.
Yes, because most of us are out here still financing our future. So we need to be in tune to what's going on around us. And of course, that's what we do here at the Money Factor. We make sure that we keep you on top of the latest and greatest as far as it relates to news, money, and financial education.
Absolutely.
So that's the purpose of this pen. We're on a national campaign for financial literacy. Today will be no different. We're going to continue to educate you, but also call you to action. Because knowledge without application is just knowledge. Yeah. It's just information.
Right.
That's what it is, just information. So anyway, we have a great show lined up for you today. You guys know this is election season. Tony. Mm-hmm. This is election season. And so I've had several of my clients actually contact me and ask me.
You got to clarify, though. What kind of election?
Well, this is midterm election season.
Right.
Okay. And so if you're not a political person, you don't understand that, we're halfway through to the next serious, real, big term.
2020 is going to be before we know it.
Before you know it. So we're halfway through. Believe it or not, our current president has been in office half of his season. So his season there. So it's very important. I know we sent out all kinds of messages telling you guys to vote, but more importantly, I have my clients asking me. I've had more than a dozen inquiries about how does the midterm election affect their retirement? How does it affect the market? And better believe it does. Okay. So this morning we're going to share information with you. We're also going to talk in the Saving Your Future book so that you can understand your own personal temperament regardless of the market, understanding how you can build safely. But if you do like to take risks, how do you take those risks calculated? And so anyway, we're going to start off this morning with an article straight out of Forbes talking about how the midterm elections may steer retirement policy. That's very, very important.
That's very important.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're close and you're in that time frame where between now and the next 2 years, you're thinking and considering retiring.
Yes.
How's that going to affect me?
Because you think about most people have anywhere from if you start about 25 years old saving, which we call that textbook age, then you've got a good 30 years to save.
Correct.
Okay. So if a presidential term is 4 years, think about how many elections you have to go through, policy changes you have to go through throughout your term
Absolutely.
of preparing for your retirement.
And then it affects it. It affects your
absolutely
retirement.
affects it. So, Tony, you want to start us off this morning?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
it says that seniors vote more than anyone. Over 70% of those age 65 and older vote, compared to less than 50% of those 18 to 29 years of age. Seniors also are the nation's fastest growing demographic group, with a 75% group rate compared to less than 10% of the other groups. How government affects elderly voters affects the political life of this country. Older votes are consistent voters, known also as always voters, because of their consistent turnout. According to the Pew Charitable Trust, 65% of the majority consistent voters were 50 and older. How did these always voters vote in the midterm election? And what might the signal of future political outcomes? For some time, older voters have been among the strongest in the demographic groups supporting Republicans. But in the midterms, older voters, like all age groups, seem to shift to the Democrats. Though the analyst is not done yet on exit polls, so these conclusions could change. Now, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. And when I was reading this article, I thought about, okay, first of all, we need to get out and vote, because they can statistically, anticipate the age groups that are going to participate.
Right.
And that's the older groups, because these are people that are, a lot of policy will affect them. The younger generation tend to think, oh, my vote does not matter.
Right.
So, there does need to be, a larger demographic in the younger population and the middle population.
Right.
The older population, they're solid. They're voting. People like me and you, you don't have to tell us to vote. We're going to get out there. But then people like me and you also get frustrated, a little aggravated, and then we feel like we're not going to vote. So that doesn't work, because you can see that these policies affect you. If you're watching us, you need to understand that your vote matters.
Absolutely.
Because things that matter to you will be affected by the elections.
Right. And let me say this. I believe that there has been a shift.
It has.
There has been a shift. I do see younger people more active. And actually, I see them wanting to be more engaged in the political scene. They understand that, hey, this is going to affect them now and later. And so they are being more active and more proactive in the political scene.
Yes. And so having said that, Gen Xers, we're a little aggravated, frustrated, disappointed.
Yes.
Pissed off.
All right. I'll take it.
And so therefore, it affects your mood when it comes to voting. But we can't afford to do that.
Right.
We've got to vote. So let's go back to the article, Tony.
Says the Washington Post article reports that swing to Democrats among those over 65 were smaller than among other age groups, and older voters remain the only group inclined to vote Republican. In fact, they appear to be the only age group giving the majority of their votes to Republicans, although even older votes came close to 50% support for Democrats. The younger voter, the more Democrat they are. I believe that. I see that.
I see it too.
I see that.
I see it too. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. It's just a personal opinion.
They're more liberal.
Yes. And they're for the people.
Yes.
They want,
they want to affect change.
Absolutely.
And so we love you, millennials. Yes.
And you know what? That's the future.
They are the future. So, that's an indication of, that's why midterm election is so important, because it's kind of an indication of where things are going to go the next couple of years. So we just need to increase that.
But I was really happy, though, LaShawna. A shout out to everyone who participated in midterm elections this year, because they went out in record numbers.
Yes.
Record numbers.
Yes. And that just goes to show that there is a level of frustration. We're not a political show; we're a money show. But we're just
but money and politics,
you have
baby.
to understand how money and politics are married together.
Right.
I don't see a divorce of the two in any time in the future.
Right.
They are stuck together, and so you have to understand politically how your money is affected, because one of my clients asked me, "Oh, so what do you anticipate? I mean, if we have R in office or D in office, I said it doesn't matter what letters in office, market's going to be affected because investors, they're, yes, they have their own political agendas. However, when it comes to money, there is no R stamped on it and no D stamped on it. Investors want their monies to grow, their investment to grow and triple and double, period. And so in any change in political space, then they're concerned about that. So some of them pull back, pull forward. It just depends. We're going to talk about that more in the show. But let's continue with the article, Tony.
It says, but the sheer size of the older voter cohort makes them a powerful political force. The writer and the Social Security advocate Nancy Altman writes that the older voters moving towards Democrats may make Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid critical issues in the next election. I totally agree. I would add that retirement policies generally is becoming more and more important as the consequences of the failed 401k system become more and more apparent. I'm going to go back, rewind. I would add that the retirement policy generally becoming more and more important as the consequences of the failed 401k system become more and more apparent.
May I ask you to repeat that part about the failed?
Absolutely. As the consequences of the failed 401k system become more and more apparent. Man.
So, I mean, okay, this comes from Forbes, you guys.
This is not from us.
This is not a Houston Housewives of Finance word or term.
But I love it.
Yes. I mean, so you know, when Forbes say that it's a failed system, so you have to understand why, ask some questions. Why is it failed? If it's considered to be a failed system, then why is it so heavily enforced, or not enforced, but pushed or marketed, or because it's when you plan for your retirement, understand you have to understand money, okay? You have to understand how money works, because if you don't understand how money works, then you could set up your future taking care of you and the government.
All right.
Okay? And so the 401k system, just understand it is a tax code. That tax code just, explains how you're going to share your future assets with our government. Point blank. That's what 401k is. It's a tax code. 403b is a tax code. 457 is a tax code. So you're not just saving for you, your loved ones. You're saving for the government's future.
And there you have it.
And so you have to understand how it works. So that means you definitely need to come to our workshops. Perfect timing to talk about our workshops, because we do talk about this. Workshop 3 talks a lot about these things. Even workshops 4, 3, and 4, you've got to come out, you guys. So in order to come out, tomorrow is a workshop, Tony.
Absolutely.
Where can they come?
Tomorrow you can come to Northwest Houston. That's 13831 Northwest Freeway. That's Suite 215, Houston, Texas 77040. Again, you know what? The application, the knowledge is good, but we want you to be informed and educated consumers. And if you don't know this information, you must get in the workshop. We've been doing this show for quite some time, and we've been having this workshops now for going on 2 years. Why haven't you attended a workshop?
No, going on 3.
On 3 years.
Going on 3 years.
So look, now guess what? That's even worse, because you guys are not coming out. You're not getting educated. And these are held every single Tuesday. We're also available there on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So
Absolutely.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse. Tuesdays doesn't work for you, then you can come see me on Wednesdays in West Houston. The address is 11111. That's 5 ones, Suite 100, and that's Houston, Texas. That's Katy Freeway. I'm sorry. 5 ones, 11111 Katy Freeway, Suite 100, Houston, Texas 77079. Wednesday nights 7 p.m., Saturday mornings 10 a.m. So you guys come out and get educated. If you don't understand this stuff, you have to understand that you need to understand it.
Yeah, and let me say this, LaShonda, too. I don't know about you, but my life has been forever changed for these workshops.
Oh my gosh!
You know what?
Yes.
We didn't have the workshops when I came into the industry, and then even the Blue Book. We've asked you to contact us to get a copy of this Blue Book, and things that can really help you in life, you shy away from, you run away from, and when instead you should be running to them.
Yes,
you should be running to
I mean,
them.
run fast.
Yes.
Because, I mean, our political climate is changing fast. So your education level has to increase fast. And it's free. So there's no excuse. Okay. So now it's time for us to go to our first ad in the show, which is Elite Dental Wellness. And so a portion of this show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. And at Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Words you shouldn't take lightly, you guys. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680.
I love
There you
it.
go. Got to keep your smile
Right, you
climbing.
better have that grill right.
Shine bright like a diamond as you increase your wealth.
Hello, you
Gotta be smiling.
Baby, you will be smiling. But look, if your money not right, you frowning.
Yeah.
And you're not showing no teeth.
Yes. Yeah, you got an upside down smile. Okay, you guys. So, as we were saying, this is very, very important. Education, financial education, and the application of the knowledge that you are receiving is critical to your future. And that's why we do have the Saving Your Future book, okay? And you can call us at 1-844-700-4463. You can also text us at 31996. Put in the message field, ask ASK HHOF, all one word, and we will reach out to you. You can also hit us up at our website, you guys. Our website is available and up and running. You can schedule an appointment there for free. You can get information that you need. That's www.hhofinance.com. You guys, there's no excuse. How else can they reach us, Tony?
Man, you can check us out on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on Meetup. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook, of course, as the Houston Housewives of Finance
Official.
If it doesn't say official,
It's not us.
Because you guys keep liking the wrong page. But guess what? We don't even know who that page is going to, because back in October 2015, that page was hacked. So we're still trying to be able to give you the information that you need through social media. We give you great content. We post the show on there. There's all kind of things that you can find, our events. Please follow the right page. The Houston Housewives of Finance Official. That is our official page. And let me tell you something. Everything that you need there, if you want to get in contact with us, if you want to find out where we are, what we're doing, it is there.
It's there. Okay. Speaking of being there, you need to go to the Sphere right now, this second, this moment, so that you can subscribe, because we're only on Facebook Live for 15 minutes. And we've gone a little bit over. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you guess what? The show is not ending. Just Facebook Live is ending. So we expect you to go and subscribe. While you're there, please shoot over to iTunes and write a review. We would love it. We would like it. We'd love to hear what you think, what you'd like to see, how you feel. Constructive criticism and all the accolades you want to give us is accepted. Now, while you're there, please share the show.
Absolutely.
Tony, we don't know who these people know.
And they know a lot of people.
And y'all know a lot of people. And then the people you know a lot of people who know a lot of people. That's the only way we're going to get the masses educated, is by you sharing the show. Please share the show. Those of you who have, we appreciate you. We love you. Please continue to share the show. While you're there, you can have an opportunity on the Sphere to donate. We provide this show to you completely complimentary. So you can donate one time, or you can become a regular patron. Whichever suits your fancy, we'd like it, we'd love it, okay? So you're going to go subscribe, you're going to write a review, you're going to share the show, and you're going to donate. And you're going to do that right now.
Absolutely.
Yes, the show's not ending, we're continuing. But when you subscribe, you're going to be able to go back and watch the show in its entirety.
I love it.
Yes.
I love
Tony,
it.
what we got left with this article?
Let's see what's going on, producer. So now the Democrats will control the House while the Republicans retain the control of the Senate. And how might that affect the framing and action retirement policies in the next 2 years? Here is what I expect the 116th Congress to do on key policies related to retirement.
Listen up.
Here we go. Congressman John Larson, he's a Democrat from Connecticut, the co-chair of the Expanded Social Security Caucus, will chair the House Ways and Means, the subcommittee on Social Security. He has a comprehensive bill to expand Social Security modest benefits and also raise the revenue. How modest. We should expect more information on Social Security ability to prevent poverty while getting more tax revenue without distorting the economic growth. Okay. We also may hear about a bolder Social Security finance options, including dedicating a restored estate tax to Social Security and raising the earnings cap beyond 2019 ceiling of $132,900. We also see the House Democrats' majority bill aimed at improving Medicare by adding vision, hearing, and dental. Can we get
really
some hand
think
claps?
they need to do that.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, because our seniors need that. I
Yes.
mean, definitely there has, you have to be able to care for your teeth, hearing loss, vision. I had to put my glasses back on as you see.
And those are the things that affect as you get older.
Older. These are the
Absolutely.
things that are affected the most.
Absolutely.
So we should have coverage for those things. So I am waiting anticipating whatever these changes are going to be, and they need to be for the better.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got to start being for the people.
Absolutely.
And definitely, our seniors, our veterans,
Our children.
I would love to see some policy concerning college and its cost and, its affordability. I would love to see that. I'm so happy for a few states here in the U.S. that are now offering education at the state level for free. That's very attractive to someone who's raising kids, because you've got to nearly sacrifice your retirement.
Hey, baby, that's no child left behind for real.
Exactly.
That you will have the same opportunity that someone who can't afford it.
Hey, you guys. So again, you've got to sit down and have a personal financial strategy with us so that you can make sure that you plan for these life events that unfortunately you can't avoid. You can't avoid if you have children, they need to go to college. You can't afford not to go to college. You need some education.
Right.
These fly-by-night jobs is not going to do it. In addition to that, you've got to be planning for your own retirement. You've got to be planning for future medical costs, long-term care. You've got to be planning for emergencies. I mean, you've got to be planning.
Absolutely.
That just needs to be, period. You need to get in the mode of planning. If you're not planning, you're planning to fail. Because our government, man, they're not looking out for you. They don't have your back.
Absolutely not.
They're looking out for the overall picture of the country, and unfortunately, sometimes that does not include my personal interest. Okay, so I'm responsible for my personal interest, Tony,
and that's why voting is so important.
That is exactly
so that
why
your
my
voice
can be heard.
Absolutely.
That is how you formally voice your opinion, not just be out here chit chatting and talking
Facebook about it, and
posts.
Or complaining. How about the complaining? Y'all complaining, and
we have those type of people,
right?
But you guys, policy is definitely affected. So, is there any other things in this article that we need to look forward to?
Wow. Okay. Are we at the top here?
Yep.
Okay. It says, but in our constitutional design, Congress has an important oversight function in addition to its lawmaking power. See, that's why we need some glasses, y'all. I'm telling you. That role has been neglected during the Trump administration for the first 2 years. But I expect that the House Democrats to aggressively play the role of the Constitution envisions and hold the executive branch responsible for its actions. That's what we need.
Yes.
For example, the Trump administration has scaled back on the consumers' protections and oversight of nursing homes while reducing their fines for violations. Why? There may have been some chance of bipartisan progress and agreement, such as which the fellow Forbes contributor Howard Gleckman argues we are seeing change in the Medicare Advantage plans. Also, watch for the hearings in lowering the cost of prescription drugs, with Democrat proposals to have the government aggressively negotiate lower prices. The Veterans Administration also does this with up to 50% reductions of drug prices for their clients. With the Democrats controlling the House, Trump and the congressional Republicans will need to decide on whether to cooperate on policies such as expanding Social Security and restoring its long range of actual balance, improving Medicare and Medicaid, and lowering the prescription drug prices. Republicans, like Democrats, can count votes, and they see the size and the importance of elderly voters.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you could be a red person or you could be a blue person as an elderly person, but you're still an elderly person.
You still an elderly person?
And when you become, a retirement in your senior years, every dime counts.
Yeah, and you're just looking for the person who's going to help you.
Support
Yes.
you being able. I mean, when things hit your pocketbook, man, there's some reconsiderations.
Absolutely.
It's definitely some reconsiderations. And you can see, Democrats are pushing to consider, the elderly. They really are. And, but again, that's why you have to be in the know about these things. That's why we bring these things to you, because guess what? Medicare and Medicare supplements and Advantage, that's a part of your financial plan.
Right. And,
absolutely.
We've talked about this before about, shout out to all the women who ran in the midterms and won.
Yes.
Because we talked about before having women in office that will have the heart to do what's best for not only women but children, the veterans, and for the elderly.
Absolutely.
And I bring up this point, LaShonda, because it makes me think about my own mother, and she's getting older, and I have to vote with not just me in mind, but my mother's
your mother.
future.
Yes.
How is this going to affect her?
Well,
and if I don't vote?
Yeah, and that's why they call Gen Xers the sandwich generation,
Right.
because if there's a downfall or a shortfall somewhere, where does typically parents
falls on the children?
They look to their children to support and help them, or be the supplement for what they don't have.
Absolutely.
And so what you pull from for your pocket to support your parents, then that affects what you have for you and your own. And so, yes, I mean, you can't really afford not to be in tune to what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, this portion of the show is being sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting a business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have the need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with the strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Sphere, hey,
yeah.
Yes. Wonderful things going on here at the Sphere. If you're a business owner or aspiring podcaster, this is where you want to be.
Yeah, join the family.
Get your message heard right here on the Sphere TV.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's go back to that article.
This is a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
But I don't expect Republicans in the Senate to advocate cutting Social Security or Medicare to reduce projected federal deficits, in spite of their long-standing party oppositions to such programs, as the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell hint that they might attack those programs. And you know what I'll be thinking? I'm sorry. Just let's put a pin in it. Mitch McConnell is getting old himself.
Hello.
But you know what? It's unfortunate that the people with don't think about those people without.
But and the people with in those type of positions.
They can
okay,
help
let me push this issue, because it's one thing, Tony, to be with, but not being in a position of influence. But if you are with and you're in a position of influence politically,
and you don't use
are
it,
supposed to be thinking about those who don't. have.
Yeah.
You know, you have to consider that, okay? Now, trust me, I'm a hardworking person. You're a hardworking person. We're not advocates, because I know I can speak for you on this point. We're not advocates of people being couch potatoes and recipients of the people who work hard.
No, absolutely
Please
not.
understand that, because I believe everybody needs to go out and make their way. But those who have paved the way for us to make our way, and they have paid their dues, they need some extra special consideration.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about
That's
it.
how I feel exactly. You know, and I don't think that we take those things into consideration about the people who don't have. And it's not like they never had. They like you said, they've contributed. They've done their part.
Especially when our government is not aggressively attacking the situation of financial illiteracy, especially when our environment is condoning debt. And also sending messages to encourage debt, especially when our country is, one of the wealthiest in the world, but always has money problems. Okay, so you've got to make some concessions then on the back end, because you're not giving any concessions on the front end for us to be educated about our choices and decisions. That's why we exist. That's why the National Campaign for Financial Literacy through World System Builder exists, because of these issues we're talking about right here, right now, today. That is the reason why this button is so important, you guys. That is why it's so important that you get in a workshop, because the government is not setting up workshops for you to learn. There's no policies to address financial illiteracy. And do you remember when I met with Ted Cruz and I had this conversation? I said, we're talking about all these things, planning, becoming a large part of the economic structure of our country, but no one's addressing financial illiteracy.
Absolutely.
And so,
and another thing too is when I'm reading the article, you know what, I was thinking about the article earlier, and it said that they're voting for him, but he's not voting for them.
wow. I mean, that's a lot. That's a mouthful right there.
Yeah. Those are the people who are voting.
So the people you want to vote, that you're voting for, do they want what you want?
Absolutely.
Do they believe in what you believe in? Are they going in the direction that you're headed? So again, this is not a political show, but it is political, because when it comes to money, politics affect our pocketbooks so very heavily, and we have to be in tune to what's happening around us. But do we not only need to be in tune, what we need to do is manage our finances better.
Right. Just sidebar, your t-shirt looks really good on screen.
Oh.
I just had to throw that in there. The Houston Housewives of Finance. Here, we're a resource for you. And I mean, like she said, it's not a political show, but it is a political show, because anytime when in regards to your money, you need to be in the know. You have to be in the know.
So, we choose our topics very carefully when we come to you and talk to you, because we're trying to what's prevalent right now.
Right.
What is going on right now? Mm-hmm. We're about to we've changed, or this midterm election is changing things.
Right.
So guess what? It changes your finances.
Absolutely.
Policies affect your finances. So that's why we're talking about this. Mm-hmm. That's why it's important, Tony.
Bringing the things that can really, change your life and affect you. The content is incredible. All you have to do is apply it.
Exactly. And in having this content, it allows you to do what? Make some adjustments. Mm-hmm. Make some changes. Sit down with Tony, myself, or any other Housewives of Finance, and get your personal financial strategy looked at, prepared, updated, amended, whatever.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
But you must have one.
Right.
It's time. You don't have to wait to 2019. So let's adjust our finances as our circumstances around us adjust. Mm-hmm. So if you understand these policies now, then maybe you need to take a look in your financial plan and see, how am I addressing Medicare? Mm-hmm. How am I addressing long-term care? How am I addressing my vision, my health care? This is healthcare season. That's a part of your financial plan.
Absolutely.
Do you know what you've elected? Do you know what you haven't elected? Do you understand any of this?
Do you understand?
Any of it.
That's a good one right there. Do you understand?
We address it in our workshops.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Let's see what else because this is deep right here. Instead, I expected the House Democrats to point correctly to the Republican tax cuts as the main driver of rising deficits, which could spark more contentious debates. Even with the desire of both parties to appeal the older voters, it remains to be seen whether cooperation or confrontation dominates the policy debate. Older Americans may not realize that the Affordable Care Act provides important insurance protections to older Americans.
Can you repeat that one again?
Yes, still too young for Medicare. Older Americans, you don't realize that it's affecting. The Affordable Health Care Act provides important insurance protections to older Americans still too young for Medicare, especially during denying of the care of those with pre-existing conditions. Outright federal ACA appeal efforts are probably dead for now, but states and the Trump administration can have tools to continue to weaken the ACA. Let's say they're saying there's a lawsuit pursued by the red state attorney general to declare the ACA unconstitutional. I say they are unconstitutional, that you would take that away from people. Again, you have to know who's for you and who's against you.
Yes. And then more importantly, it's knowing that this is on the table. How are you addressing that in your financial plan? How are you addressing Medicare? Do you know the difference between advantage plans and supplement plans? Do you know? And if you intend to live, you're going to have to deal with this.
You got to have it. Mm-hmm.
So it has to be considered now. The unfortunate thing is we're reactive in our finances, not proactive. Start thinking about these things right now, you guys. Don't wait until 3 weeks before it's time to have open enrollment. And then now you're forced to enroll because Medicare is not optional. You must do it.
Right.
And you don't even know the age. Some of you don't even know the age. I know that because you asked me. So you need to come to workshop number 4. We address that.
Absolutely.
So again, I cannot speak enough about our workshops. They're life-changing, like you said. They really will give you the basic information you need to make the decisions that life will call for, okay? Financial decisions that life will call for. And having the support is just incredible, to have the support and to know that it's free.
It's free. Wow. That right there is incredible in itself.
Are you guys with us here on this? Okay. So I don't know if there's anything else left on that article because we have another powerful one coming.
It's a little bit more, but I tell you what, they get the gist of what we're saying here. I say that, make sure that you attend workshop 4, so that you can learn more in detail. And if you yourself, if you cannot make it and you're an older, individual, send your children, nieces, nephews, anyone who can help you, with this Medicare, because it's something that we want to make sure that you are properly protected. That's the last thing, we want you to get to that age and your financial house is
collapses.
Apart. It's falling apart.
Collapses.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. That's when we get to our older years or retirement years, this is when we really need to have things solid, because we're about to approach, if we haven't already, non-income producing years.
Absolutely.
So how you've built that house,
matters.
Whether you built that on stilts or bricks, or you poured a solid, it's going to be revealed at that point in life.
Right. So before we go to the next article, we're going to go to this portion of the show. Is being sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empower movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com and use the coupon code DOPE, DOPE, exclamation point, for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. The sizes are selling out fast.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I need that a hoodie for it right now because you know what I'm saying. It's I'm cold.
I mean, 'tis the season. It's getting chilly out here. Yeah, I see you layered up today.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'm cold.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to need to get a
Yeah,
hoodie.
we're gonna support your hoodie this season.
Yes, you know what I'm
KOG.
saying.
So shout out to KOG.
Yes.
Congratulations on all your recent accolades. We're proud of you and keep up the good work. So let's go to the next article. So this one addresses the stock market typically rises after midterm election. This year is anything but typical.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about this because I know that this is a constant conversation. I actually sent out a couple of articles to those clients that were asking me these questions. This is as recent as November 2nd. There's been a deficit of cheerful news lately about American politics. And with the midterm elections looming, it may be difficult to think clearly about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a tidbit that may be diverting and even mildly comforting. The midterms have consistently been good for the stock market. So if you have any alerts, I have all the alerts on my phone. And so I see when the Dow is going up, the S&P is going up. I also see when it's going down. Remarkably, this has been true for every midterm election since World War II. The data shows that it hasn't mattered who won or lost or which party controlled the White House or Congress, either before the voting or as a result of it. Whatever the political configuration or the election result, the midterm election season has been an excellent one for stocks. Okay, the pattern gives a very positive message for the market, said Ed Clissold, Chief United States Strategist for Ned Davis Research. It's only part of the picture, but it's a positive part. Okay, so let's continue. So the numbers tell the story. Since 1946, in years with midterm elections, the Standard & Poor's 500 stock index has gained a median of 18.4% in the 9-month period from September 30th, just ahead of voting through June 30th of the following year, according to the data compiled by the Ned Davis Research. In that same period, in non-voting years, the index gained 4.9%. So you can see policies affects investors' moves, the moves that they make. Talk about making money moves in midterm election.
That's it.
This is when investors make money moves. Diving a little deeper into the Ned Davis data, the pattern is evident that presidential terms are broken down into 3-month quarters. Each 4-year presidential term has 16 quarters, and the best one has typically been the quarter we are in now, the fourth quarter of a midterm year. Okay. And so with that, in this midterm quarter, the stock index since 1946 has gained 7.5% on average. The next best 2 quarters in the performance have been the next 2 quarters chronologically. The first and second quarters in the year after the midterm election, with the average gains of 7.5% and 6.6%. Okay, so that kind of answers your questions. There's a lot more data out on this. We do want to dive before we close out into the Saving Your Future book, because we need to give you guys some instructions from the book to be able to help you formulate a solid plan for yourself. And they're not instructions, but education. Let me disclaimer that. Education on how you can help yourself. So if you don't have the Saving Your Future book, hey, you know how to reach us. Sick of saying it.
Contact us. I'm Tony Sanders. Tony S. at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
LaShonda J. at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
Again, you can reach us on all our social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Meetup, Facebook, of course, as the Houston Housewives of Finance official. If it doesn't say official, it's not us,
y'all.
You even got Mike over there laughing at you. It's not us, y'all.
I'm going to say it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the Saving Your Future book. We're going to start on page 61. Here's some considerations when investing, you guys. Past performance is no indication of future results.
Can you repeat that?
Past performance is no indication of future results. This important phrase is displayed on every mutual fund prospectus. When investing, keep in mind that all the data, strategies, rates, and returns, dividend yields, and share prices were numbers of the past. we cannot tell you what's going to happen in the future. Tomorrow's a different day.
Right.
No one can predict future performance. No one knows where the market will go because no one will know how technology will change, whether war or natural disasters will strike, if there will be food surpluses or gas shortages, and so on. So when you invest, this data is relatively helpful to give you an idea of how a certain investment vehicle has performed in the past. It is important for you to know your risk tolerance. It's up to you to consider it and make a decision to apply for it, for your future, for your financial future. So, Tony, talk to them about time and timing.
Wow, time and timing. Knowing your objectives and your risk tolerance. If you have a large family, you may need a large car. Understanding your goals and objectives helps you make the right choices and select the right tools or investments on the job. The time as well as your risk tolerance can play an important part in picking the right investment. When and where to put your money are also important factors. If you need money within a year, you may want to keep it liquid. You may want to put it in savings or a money market account. If you need it in between 1 to 5 years, find some safe vehicles such as CDs, the GICs, and the Treasury bills or conservative bonds. If you need it within 5 years or later, consider stocks and bonds. The longer you invest the money, the more chances you have to increase the amount of stocks in your investment portfolio. Historically, statistics show that the investors who kept their investment stocks within more than 20 years did not suffer losses. Remember, past performances does not guarantee future results. Time in the market is far more important than time in the market is far more important than timing in the market. Absolutely. Because money needs time.
Absolutely. And you guys can look at these numbers because you should have the book. And so you should have the book so you can go back and read this, So we're not going to read that chart to you because, you should have the book. And so you can go and read that chart.
So that means you need to get the book.
Yeah. So, but you should have the book. But if you don't have the book, then you need to get the book.
Get the book.
So we're not going to read that chart, but we are going to go on to the next page. Okay. Asset allocation, you guys, spread your risk. Okay. I do want to say this, that when it comes to investing, you do need to have a professional money manager if you're going to be a person that takes risk. Okay. So I don't want to get too deep into this because everybody's tolerance is different.
Absolutely.
And so I want to say that asset allocation is important so you can diversify. But what that looks like for you, you're going to have to figure that out.
Right.
You got to sit down with a professional. Let's go on past that. There are some other things we want to cover. And, this gives you some examples. So, that means you have the book. And if you have the book, you can read the book and the book will help you to understand that. Now, here we have conservative risks, moderate growth, aggressive growth. Here's a little pie chart of, how you can, examples of how you can, diversify based on your tolerance, So if you're conservative, if you're moderate growth, aggressive growth. And again, you need to sit down with a professional to determine which one of these pies you want to eat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. What kind of pie
you want? Pies you want to eat. Okay. Let's go on. Okay, now, here's the thing that's very important. You cannot be too emotional, okay? God created economics to make weather forecasts look good. Somebody said that. We don't know who, they're anonymous. But the weather always does what it does best. It changes all the time.
Right.
We live here in Texas. We know that so very well. Later today, it might be 90.
You never
So
know.
what do we expect the stock market to do? The stock market does what it always does. It changes all the time, every day. It might not add on the hour, on the moment, on the second. However, most people want to beat the stock market. That's not the game you should be playing. Although the weather changes, it's somewhat predictable. It gets cold in the winter, warm in the spring, hot in the summer, and cold in the fall. You may not know how stock changes every day, but in the last 100 years, they went up and down and up and down. But as it fluctuated over and over again, it has historically moved up over time. The problem is most people want to know the short-term ups and downs, and they forget about the long-term growth potential. Okay, so emotional investing leads to lower returns. And here's some examples there. So having said that, again, you need to understand who you are.
Right.
As financial professionals, Tony and I strive, and all of us who are financial professionals who are a part of our national campaign for financial literacy, a part of the Housewives, we strive to understand what it is that you need, what it is that you're trying to obtain, your goals. Right. And then, our responsibility is to create a strategy that's suitable and affordable for you in that. But first, we have to determine what your goals are.
What are your goals?
Yeah, you have to know what
where are you?
Where are you going?
What does your picture
where
look like?
Where you starting?
Mm-hmm.
Where you starting, and how much time you have to travel. Mm-hmm. What's the destination at the end?
Right.
All of that stuff we're going to sit down and figure out with you. Traditionally, I will say to you in the industry, for this type of conversation and planning session, it carries a very hefty price tag. I want you to know, because we provide those services to you complimentary does not mean that they don't have a value. Because in the industry, you're going to pay anywhere from $600 and upward, more like around $1,000 and upward to have that conversation, provided you come to the table with some assets, Tony.
Hello.
And when we're talking about assets, we're talking about at least a quarter of a
million. Mm-hmm.
And you got to have some liquid cash, because, there's going to be investing going on, and you could lose everything tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so nobody wants to do business with you if you don't have enough to be able to stomach the loss.
Right.
So
and they're not going to do business with you if you don't have anything.
If you don't have anything,
right.
Okay. But, unlike the traditional industry, we are creating a new industry by which no family is going to be left behind, by which we encourage financial education, understanding when your feet hits the floor every single day, you're equipped with basic knowledge to be able to make the right financial choices and decisions that will be able to lead you towards achieving your goals. Mm-hmm. And so, hey, but we do that without a price tag. We do that for free.
Right.
But you guys, I guess because we say free, they don't take us seriously, Tony.
Well, we can charge you if you like.
I mean, you want us to?
I mean, I just see when we do it for free, LaShonda, it really just, it takes all the excuses off the table, because, if we charge you, you say, I don't have it. Mm-hmm. And when we do it for free, you don't show up or you don't make the appointment. But you've got to make a solid decision.
Hello.
And you've got to make it today, as soon as possible. You're going to plan for your future. No more excuses. Everybody has one. What are you going to do? Your future is not in the hands of this government. It's in your hands, and you've got to take some action, period.
Couldn't have said it better. You've got to do better than what you're doing right now, okay? And are we talking in generalities? Yes, because statistically, most of you guys that are listening to us are in that number of people that are not properly taking care of their finances. Statistically, I mean, there's a very small percentage of people who are doing close to what they should be doing, or they're on the track to do it. Most everybody that's listening to us, Tony, they're not.
And you guys don't want to be transparent. And if you're doing great and you're on track, kudos to you. But for those of you who you're not sure, or you don't know, or you're not doing anything, you know what? You just need to reach out. You have to start being transparent. I don't want you to get to that point in later on in life and then you wish you shoulda, coulda.
No, I wouldn't want to get to the end of the line. And when I say the end of the line, not death, but the end of the line where I'm not going to work.
You're not working.
And I'm ready to enjoy life. I've planned all these things. I've had these great visions. You're
going right back to work.
I'm going right back to work, and for less money.
Yeah.
And in an undesirable position.
Hello? And you may not even feel like it. You've been in the workforce.
Shoot, may not.
30,
I'm not
40
going
years.
to. That's why the word is called retirement.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not the song for
some.
People are not singing that song. They're singing the "Oh, woe is me, I'm back to work" until literally I die.
Wow.
You guys, you don't want that to be you. You've got to reach out to us ASAP. Go to our website, book an appointment. Call us 1-844-700-4463. Reach out to us individually. You can reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our personal pages. Just do something.
Right.
Okay? You can't afford not to. Okay?
All right. Well, with that being said, that's going to end the show for today. But we look forward to seeing you same place, same time next week.
Right here on the Spear.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.